Welcome everyone. We love seeing you at our Facebook Lives. Today we have, you know who, Betsy.
Hello.
And you are wearing what?
I am wearing the Berwick Street tunic as a dress.
I love this.
It's pretty cute.
It is pretty cool. So this is a silk.
It is. It's actually it's kind of a stretchy silk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a stretch silk, and I just took out the placket, sewed it down the middle, but instead of the sleeves, I used the mesh to do a knit sleeve.
Yes.
And I didn't even finish it, just cut it off the edge.
It's so cute.
Thanks.
So cute. Well, speaking of silk, well, I have on silk too.
Oh, you do?
I have on silk. I have on the cottage shirt with the Zen collar, which is one of Kathy Davis's favorite collars, and it's become mine too because I can turn up this inner collar and let the wherever it is here, the outer collar lie down, and it's just a nice little filler. And it's not as difficult to make as the regular collar stand thing.
Right. And it looks great in silk.
But speaking of silk, we are promoting silk this month for So Confident.
Vanna White this.
Yes. And these are the two kits that we have for our panel pants. This is, we're calling this River Rock, calling that Paisley.
Paisley.
And we're using a crinkled silk. You're learning how to work with silk fabrics, semi-sheer fabrics, and learning how to line pants. We've lined them in black georgette. So the outer fabric is crinkled georgette and the inner fabric is plain georgette. And so we're just, this has been a tremendous, people love this.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, people are really ordering the pattern and the kits and all of that, so we're pretty happy about this.
Well, they're so beautiful. The way the silk drapes, it just hangs from your body and it creates such a slimming look. And even though the sleeves are the sleeves are rounded, the legs have that rounded shape, it just falls.
Yeah, they're very flattering actually for a pant that has a pretty good volume to it. But you and Erin were the ones who rediscovered these pants, and I've had some questions about whether people who have the original pattern should just think about using them. And when I list all the things that we did to change the pattern, all of a sudden they decide maybe it's worth it to just order the pattern, because we made a lot of changes.
We pull out old patterns and we're like, we'll just use that. It's so easy.
Right.
But then it's just, well, we got to change that, and then we have to change that, and then we should probably do that, and then it's a new pattern.
and we rewrote the instructions.
And
and Erin revamped some of the drawings and the illustrations. So it is really a new pattern. So just order the pattern. It is a download pattern.
New pattern, same name.
Not to say that it won't be a printed pattern. We're still getting comments from you all about, oh, we want printed patterns, and we know that. We just got some new patterns in, which Betsy will be promoting. The Maison just walked in the door, and what was the other one?
Gardenia.
Gardenia, that's a printed pattern. So we're trying to catch up with that now that the printing process is back on, although it's about to go off again when the printing facility that we use is closing down in December, and we're finding new printing facilities, blah, blah, blah. But we're here to do printed patterns as long as we can.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Okay, so panel pants, September. The video will be out on the 17th. So watch for that, and then the Q&A will be a week after that. But today we're going to talk about two things, really: Sarah Campbell and bags. And I subscribe, well, I don't subscribe to. My husband actually is a watch collector. And so we get this magazine, a watch company puts it out. And in there was this really interesting article, The History of Bags. Not the complete history of bags, but it talked about a collection by a Dutch couple who back like 40 years ago began to collect vintage bags. But there were just a couple of little tidbits that I thought were really interesting. So even this surprised you, being the handbag devotee that you are, that bags were first carried by men, of course.
Man bags.
Man bags. Leather pouches and that sort of thing. But then they didn't have to carry them anymore when pockets were invented.
I love the idea that pockets were invented.
Yes,
Isn't that fun?
I know.
Like they figured it out.
Who would have thought? Pockets to me should have always have been there.
Right.
Well, then women were wearing these voluminous dresses, and finding the pockets in those dresses was becoming hard. So that was the beginning of the little drawstring bag. And then when women were then allowed to travel,
Allowed
to travel, this husband contracted with a British leather company to produce a travel bag for his wife. So that was the first carry-on bag. This is back in the 1800s.
Wow.
Maybe it was the 1700s if I'd read this, but anyway, a long time ago. And then we've evolved from the travel bag for women to now something that was utilitarian to now the it bags, where, I mean, every day we are bombarded with some new bag by Fendi that only costs $3,000, and it has the frame of it is in the shape of an F like Fendi. I mean, it just never stops. So at any rate, bags are the thing, and you and I are big bag people.
We are.
But before we get into bags, we have to talk about Sarah Campbell.
Miss Sarah Campbell.
So you talk about Sarah Campbell for a while, and then I'll talk about Sarah Campbell.
Okay. So as someone who I read a lot of fashion history and textile history specifically, the name Collier Campbell has kind of always been in the back of my mind. And that is the company that she and her sister started in the 70s. And I probably knew them through Liberty and just through, I specialize, if you will, in like 60s British fashion. So that's kind of the world that I like to read about. So when we came into the world of Sarah Campbell, it was very exciting for me.
It was. Yeah. My first personal encounter with her was in our London textile trip 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I've kind of lost track, year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever it was, about 2 years ago actually. And we had a class by her in London, fabric painting class, and it was so much fun that we asked her to come to Topeka, which she did about a year and a half ago, and she did a fabric painting class for us here. And this is just a little sample, her little sample of just some techniques, but she's known for her bright colors, her geometrics, but this is all done with a paintbrush on, in this case, linen viscose fabric. And this is just one of the 3 samples that I snagged from her. I know, and I've yet to be able to cut them up, but I'm going to make some bags probably.
Well, it's interesting because I know a fair amount of textile designers and everybody works differently. But to see her just like sit down, grab a paintbrush, and just knock that out was fascinating.
It is fascinating. And
So
she starts in one corner and then just builds on it, and the whole thing turns into a pretty fabulous creation. Yeah, she's a genuine artist at many levels. I mean, she does these somewhat whimsical, colorful designs now, but she's completely capable of probably doing a portrait.
Oh, yeah.
And the small prints for Liberty of London that she did, has done, and this upholstery, whole interior upholstery, drapery, fabric world that she lived in for a long time, very traditional patterns. Her most famous one was called Cote de Jour. Did we decide that?
Yes.
It's actually the one I think that's on the cover here. This is one of her more famous designs. And I remember this when back in the days when I was practicing interior design and ordering Collier Campbell fabrics. I, of course, used this fabric. I didn't know her from Adam, but it's fun now that we have a relationship with her. And our relationship with her is building, actually, because after she was here, we decided to ask her to design a couple of fabrics for us. So she did.
Very exciting.
And Bessie's the one who worked really closely with her. Just as a side note, she has various collections for various people. Shall we show her show the stuff that we have of hers?
Yeah.
You know, she does dolls. Some of these products are available on her website, sarahcampbelldesigns.com, and it's Sarah with an H. So she makes little dolls, or has these dolls made using Liberty of London fabrics.
So sweet.
What do you have there?
It's just a little silk, kind of like a pocket handkerchief. I don't know if you can see it. I bought it when she was here.
Right.
And I'm going to frame it eventually. But right now it's in my flat file as a piece of art, just waiting to be...
It's very cool.
I
I didn't see that on the table, or that might not have lasted that long. But yeah, so a handmade handkerchief.
Yep.
I didn't realize you had that.
And then this is the right side, yeah. Little puppy bag.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Super cute.
So
Super
this
simple.
is all handmade, and then but with her little label on it.
Yep.
I bought one of her scarves. This is pretty typical of her designs. This is on a wool challis, but this is her. Now these are not hand painted per se, but the original design would have been hand painted, and then she has these manufactured. And you can buy these on her website. Scarves, greeting cards, notebooks, dolls, bags, zip things, just a wonderful display of home goods and personal things that you can order on her website.
And some of it produced, but a lot of it, made by hand, made by her.
Yes, exactly. She also designs pottery for West Elm, the furniture company. And I love this that has all these little different designs on it. I had to have this, of course, as well. She is just recently produced an entire fabric collection for Free Spirit, which will be out in January. And we were asked by Free Spirit and Sarah Campbell, thanks to Sarah, to put together a group of patterns that would work with these fabrics. And so we are doing a trunk show of her clothes, our designs, her fabrics, and you will be seeing that early 2022. Hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on the trunk show. I know we'll be sending it away. Maybe we can get a sneak peek before we actually have to pop it in the box and send it off. But really looking forward to that. She's a delight to work with, and we're really thrilled and very privileged to have her as a friend and a collaborator. So the fabrics that she designed for us, there are two of them. So let's do this one first.
Now you've seen this one if you have our fitting book.
That's right.
Workbook.
So we have been using that as the cover for the fitting encyclopedia and the fitting workbook because we love this design so much. So we decided to have this printed on a canvas fabric and use it for a bag, which I'll show you in a minute. And then the other one is this one that we also printed on canvas and printed on cotton. Now, you can tell that these are sort of pattern pieces, like a layout for a sewer, and the pieces are numbered, and there's pins and needles and stitches and general characteristics of pattern pieces on this. And that's what we asked her to do. And of course her coloration is delightful. So we're really happy with these two particular fabrics. So let's show the bags.
Okay. Can I start with this one?
Yeah.
Oh, I can barely get it off. Okay.
So heavy? Is that
just too short?
All right, so you made this bag.
I did.
Using the canvas.
I did. It's the Boulder Bag, which is a personal favorite.
Now let me hold it while you hold up yours, because what Betsy has done is reduce the size of this from the original pattern.
This is the original size of the Boulder Bag, so it's pretty big.
Right.
It is I consider this like a travel size bag. I use it on the plane and stuff. This I feel like you could use every day. You could just carry your stuff around with it.
This is one of the most useful bags that I've ever made, really. I have one that's the large size that I do travel with, not just road trips in the car, but on the plane. And it's the kind of bag that can sit on my rolly bag. The handle can twist around the top, or you can put a little panel on the side and slip it over the handles of your bag. But I don't know, there's just something about this bag that it is like perfect.
Yeah, I like the two side handles. I like that you can really carry it small like this and even pop it on here.
Exactly. So this is made out of the the canvas. And actually, had we had this when you made it,
Yes.
you would have used the blue webbing. So we have kits that are just like this, only enough fabric to make the large size or the smaller size. Would you say this is about 75%
I think so.
or so? So how did you do that? Did you just print it out on your home printer at 75%?
Yep.
Okay. So at any rate, the kit includes enough fabric to make a large size. It includes lining,
Yep.
a zipper for the interior zip pocket, the webbing for the side handles, the webbing for the top, and the top zipper as well. So and thread.
Yeah.
So everything you need to make the bag. I need to ask you, does it include the pattern?
It does not include the pattern.
The pattern is separate. That's a separate purchase. That's what I thought. Okay.
I was like, I don't know. No.
All right. So that's the Boulder bag. You want me to do that?
Just, if I reach too high, you might see a little bit more.
Yeah.
than you need.
Can't do that.
There you go.
It is pretty high, isn't it?
It is.
All right. So then we have the two Provence Market bags. So this is the original size, which is large. Now this is a bag that I originally made, the shape of, while I was in France, in Provence-ish area. And you know, we went to, every Sunday when we go to Chateau du Mont, we go to the famous market, St. Antonin. I can't remember the whole name of that town, at any rate. And so everyone is carrying a very lightweight, big shopper. And so that's why I made this. This is an interesting bag in that it has this one odd shape to the front that creates this roundness to the front, and yet the back is a very simple, not quite rectangle, but almost. So you made yours, again, smaller.
Again, smaller.
75% smaller. This is canvas, and you put some contrasting handles on it.
Yep.
You lined yours, but
I did
you know, I didn't line mine. And so the kits that we have for this bag, Provence Market Bag, are, again, enough fabric of the canvas fabric to make the largest size. And
then I think we were going to use the natural webbing. Did we decide
is that
against
what we're doing? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
No, I don't think so, actually.
Oh.
We'll sort this out because
We'll look into it.
the reason I think not is that we decided we couldn't finish the ends of this very well.
That goes in the seam.
There's no seam.
No, it goes on the
That's
outside.
the issue.
Oh, I was thinking of the boulder. Right. Yes. We're
Yes.
doing the fabric handles.
We're doing
Yes.
fabric handles.
Yes. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, on the Provence Market Bag, it'll be just like this. You'll be able to do a large shopper with self handles.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean you can't change the handles, but this is what you're going to get, this and thread. Okay, so those are the two fabrics that we are very happy to introduce in Sarah Campbell fabrics. Now, I think this fabric, this design on cotton, which is what this is, cotton poplin, would be great for a cottage shirt, which is what I have on, or some sort of a summer fun shirt. So not only are we selling the two bag kits, but you can order the yardage of this one on cotton poplin.
I'm going to do a full disclosure here.
Yeah?
I thought it was that one, so the photo is of the other one, but it's going to be this print.
Well,
And I will fix that post.
we can do both, I
That's
suppose.
true. I guess we could, because we're.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I've been gone, so I'm just kind
She
of.
was on vacation. I've had kind of a wild week. Erin just popped in this morning from coming in from Kansas City, so we're
all over the place.
Yeah, whatever. We'll make it all right
Yeah.
at some point and make sure that it's clear.
Right. Yes.
All right. But two bag kits and fabric
fabric.
yardage can be ordered. Now, the bag kits are, all of this is a pre-order, meaning we do not have any of this in stock today. And because we want to be able to order exactly the right amount, you know, this whole kit thing has been kind of a big, huge to-do for us. And it's very difficult to predict what you want. And so we are hoping that you will allow us 2 or 3 weeks to get the fabric printed and put the kits together and get them to you. So pre-orders on kits pre-order on yardage, but order it today and you'll have it.
Yeah.
If you order 2 kits,
Special fun.
you get this fantastic, I love this, insulated cup and straw, metal
Oh,
straw.
it comes with the straw?
It does.
Nice.
Comes with the straw. So you'll get one of these free if you order 2 kits.
Both kits. Or 2 kits.
Or 2 kits. 2 kits or both
2
kits.
kits.
Whatever.
2 kits or both kits.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
a little closer and show that
Yeah.
it's the print.
So that is the design that's been imprinted on the mug.
It's a great mug.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about other bags.
Yeah.
You know, we don't talk about our bags very much, but we have interesting bags. And my idea of an interesting bag is something that has just a little bit of a unique detail, not a lot of hardware, because hardware is so hard to find. Although we do have nice hardware. We have magnets, we have rings, we have clips, and we have webbings, and we have all of that. But there is something to be said for bags that just don't require a lot of coordination of all of those finishes, mostly.
Right.
So let's talk about.
start?
Well, here, you probably can't reach
No, I
that.
can
There
get
we
that
go.
one.
Okay, so this is the L squared bag. Guess who it's named after? That used to be my nickname. Linda Lee, L squared, get it, whatever. So this is more of a, well, it's a tote bag, but it can be kind of a business bag as well. I think it has that sort of briefcase type element to it. You can put a
perfect for a
computer,
laptop.
for a laptop, an iPad, or whatever. But one of the features of this bag that I like a lot is this particular detail on the corner, where the structure of making the boxed corner actually comes to the outside and is a nice little detail. We use a lot of ultra suede, and we use the upholstery weight ultra suede for handles, and I usually use them in double thicknesses. We have ultra suedes on our website, and then there are magnets that are hidden in this bag as well, and pockets. So that is the L squared bag. It has these little
I like
gussets.
this little detail right there. Yeah.
The little gussets.
is
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. So that's L squared, and that is a printed pattern. One of the 2 printed patterns. The other printed pattern is the Village. Now this bag, this is like a big gym bag. You know, you would put your, in fact, I carry this as a tennis bag with my tennis shoes and my gear, and you can even pop a tennis racket into this bag. But when it's folded up, it creates this kind of odd, interesting shape, and it has magnets as well. It's a lined bag, and this is the kind of bag that where you sew this big sort of hourglass shape. So 2 pieces of fabric right sides together, turn the whole thing so that all the edges are nicely finished, and then the bag is constructed. And so everything is real
Clean
nicely
and-
finished. And this also has an unusual bottom little tuck to it. So every one of our bags has some little interesting detail to it that's simple to make, but just adds that little touch.
Well,
This is,
I was going to say what I like about this is that even though it's big and open, because of the magnet and because of this, I feel like you don't have to worry about stuff falling out.
right,
It encloses it without having to put in a zipper or
Right.
all of that.
right. I've made this bag in a lot of different things. I've made it in velvet. I've made it in glazed, rainwear,
that's nice.
taffetas. Got one over here, I'll show you in a minute. Be great in denims, but also just any one of our fabrics from Sarah Campbell as well. All right, so that's also a printed pattern. So the 2 printed patterns that we have are the L squared and the Village bag. The rest of them are download patterns, or yes, download patterns. Yeah. Okay, so this is the downtown bag, and this also has 2 ways of carrying it. It has a short handle at the top, and that is offset a little bit so that the zipper falls forward and the whole bag kind of scrunches forward. Or you can carry it as a crossbody, a shoulder bag, but it has nice zippers on the outside.
A lot of
And
pocket space.
a lot of pocket space. So this is a little bit of, in my kind of backpack in a way. You could make this into a backpack. I'm not much of a backpack carrier, never have been, but this could definitely have that look if you like backpacks. And of course we always try to put zipper
An
pockets
inside
on the
zipper.
interior and use interesting linings. So that is the downtown bag. Now this is the daily news bag. It's named because we thought it looked like something that the newsboy would carry on his bicycle, full of papers to throw.
Totally.
Yeah. So I pulled this one out of the many that I have made because the idea of taking a very lightweight fabric, a very lightweight cotton, and stitching it to another layer of fabric and creating your own other fabric. So these are pieces and parts of many fabrics, all raw edged and then channel stitched so that the fabric now has some structure to it. It's been so long since I've made this. I may have quilted this over some very thin batting. It feels like it, doesn't it?
Feels like it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But basically this is a tube, a round tube of fabric that is set on a square box. So here you have this two seams, but this creates kind of like a bento box. So it's a tube onto a square. So that's unique. And this is an example of some of our hardware, some of our rings that we have.
This ultra suede handle is just.
I know. The
it's
nice
so
thing about
soft.
ultra suede handles is you don't have to worry about the finishing and the turning, and it's completely washable. So you can dunk this in water and soap and scrub it up and get it really clean. And this also has the magnets.
And a pocket.
Oh, and this has this unique pocket that's loose. And so you see the stitching on the outside of how it's attached, but it's a loose pocket on the inside. So various kinds of pocket constructions. And speaking of pocket constructions, let's just show you this. So I made this bag. I should have stuffed that, I guess. I made this for Threads magazine some years ago, and it's made out of printed Tyvek. Tyvek is that material that you know that you use for insulating homes. Usually says Tyvek across it in blue and red, but you can also buy it printed like this. But this has a unique boxed corner. And you can go to our blog and find this link to this. Is it the link or the article? Just
It's
the link.
the link.
The link to the Threads article all about how to make this bag. Or you can go to Threads magazine's website and search Linda Lee, and all the articles that I've ever written for them come up, and this is one of them that you can download, either one. But it's just as easy to go through our website. But I think it's a unique corner, and I don't remember how I came up with that. But
I love the Tyvek.
I know, the Tyvek's pretty cool.
So could you, in the spirit of Sarah Campbell, could you paint Tyvek?
Absolutely. In
Be
fact,
fun.
I ought to show you that. I have samples. You can paint Tyvek using acrylic paint, the same paint that she used for her samples.
Oh, really? Okay.
You can also, or you can use like jacquard paints, the metallic paints. You can also paint it and then use a hair dryer to heat it up and it'll shrivel and crinkle. It's very cool.
Interesting.
You can stitch on it. You can applique on it. You know, it's a fantastic material. I actually went out to our local Home Depot and bought a roll of Tyvek. And you can buy it by the sheet on Amazon, but you can buy it by the roll, not all that expensive, at some place like Home Depot, and just go crazy. Or you can use mail bags, which is what this is.
Oh.
You know, the shipping bags. So Tyvek's pretty easy to come by.
Is it waterproof?
Yes, totally.
Oh,
Yes,
full Tyvek outfits.
exactly. Yes. All right, so that's one. Let's see. Here's a little better. Here's a sort of a typical window opening for a pocket where we insert a zipper into a window opening. That's inside a lot of our bags, and of course this side of the pocket would not show. It'd be on the inside of the bag. But this is in the Boulder, this is in I think it's in the downtown bag and also in the village bag. So that's a typical pocket that we use. We have a tutorial. Hold that for a second. A really, really comprehensive tutorial that's called Downtown Bags. And I don't know how many pages there are. I bet there are 50, 60 pages in this tutorial that have all kinds of details about corners, handles, pockets. I think it's one of the most comprehensive tutorials I've ever written, actually. So these were just some samples from that tutorial, just to give you an idea of the kinds of things you learn. And this is a little bit like, not exactly, but this is sewing, excuse me, again, a long square, a rectangle of fabric onto a circle. You learn how to do that. So this could be a bucket bag.
Cute.
Learn how to do an inset bottom. This is not your traditional boxed bottom as we know it. This has actual 4 inset corners. And then this is the difference between a traditional box corner and the corner on the L-square bag that comes out. So, you know, traditionally you cut out the corner of a bag and then you sew those edges together like this on the diagonal, and that becomes a regular boxed bottom. I don't think I explained that very well, but hopefully you get the idea. But on the other side, to do like the L squared, now the side seam is sewn to a certain point, and these are then tucked up in here and sewn, so that puts the tuck on the outside. All of this is explained in the tutorial and the pattern. So, but just to show you the difference in how to create the same dimension of boxed bottoms. Here's the regular box, and here's the one with the detail on the outside. Very similar, but just slightly different in how you sew it. So that's all in the tutorial, and it is also, a lot of these techniques are in our book called The Sewing Workshop. There are 10 bag patterns in this book, and a lot of the details are in there, as well as in Sew Easy as well. All right, shall we look at some, one more thing. If you're wanting to have a, like in the Boulder or in the L squared, if you want a bottom that's flexible but keeps its shape, this is, I don't have my piece here, I don't know what I've done with it, plastic mesh.
Like Peltex?
Like what?
Is it like a Peltex plastic?
No, this is like a needlepoint canvas, and it's
okay.
plastic. There's a word for it. It's escaping me. But it actually has a grid. It's a plastic grid.
You can feel it.
Yeah. And I cover this with ultra suede so that I can just put it in the bottom of the bag, and then as the bottom of my bag gets dirty over time, I just take it out and wash it.
Smart.
But it holds its shape, but it's still flexible and will do whatever the bags need to do. So just a little idea there. All right, so let's look at some fabrics.
Yeah.
We pulled out some fabrics that would make great bags, in addition to the Sarah Campbell fabrics, but also linings, also cottage shirts, also a mixture of things.
And anything.
So we have this cotton that is really fun.
I don't know if you can see, it's upside down. Should we flip it?
Oh yeah, maybe we'll just get it off of here.
Yeah.
Whoops. And hold it up.
Here we go, this way.
Yeah. Whoops, now they're upside down there too. Now that's interesting.
No, I think they're
Huh?
like the sewing machine.
Oh, you're right. The
Yeah.
sewing machine. Sewing machine and scissors and pin cushions and pattern
Zipper.
pieces, zippers, tape measures. So obviously it's a sewing-based fabric. That's
So
really
cute.
Yeah, and this is a kind of a canvas weight, so it'd make a great bag.
And you can pair it with this for a lining.
Yes.
Because it would pull out that green.
This is like a bark cloth. It's not though, but it's like a, what do you call this? A shot
It's like a shot cotton.
cotton, where it has a little strié design to it, but it's woven in.
Because a shot cotton has 2 different colors woven with.
Yeah. This is a nice weight for a bag or a lining or a shirt or pants. We were talking
Even
about this
pants.
actually for the panel pants. If you want to make some really casual knock around panel pants, this would be a great fabric.
Yeah. A little more body than silk,
Right.
but not enough to make it too structured.
Exactly. But you would see the different panels that the panel pants are made out of. They have the knee patch and the upper and lower portions. And
Yeah.
So we think this would be fun. And it comes in the purple color and this
And
deep
the
green
jade.
as well, jade. Yeah. So here are a couple of other fun cottons. I love things like this that are just a simple little meandering design. These are like little...
They're like a little gauze.
It is, but I think it's just cotton, but it does have a gauze-like feel to it. It's very soft, and I love that.
It's a double gauze.
Oh, it is a double gauze. You are totally right. Yep, I didn't realize that.
But for those of you who think of double gauze like the Japanese, the Nanny Iro, this is much tighter.
Yeah.
It is a much more structured
Right.
double gauze.
Yeah, it's not like a cheesecloth kind of
Right.
double gauze, which so many of them are, which don't hold up very well with washing and wearing and all of that.
If you looked at it, you wouldn't know until you
Well,
got in
obviously
there.
I didn't, because I even hung this on the wall and didn't know it.
But just in terms of bags, like this is a double gauze you could use for a bag.
Yes.
And not have to worry about
Yes.
holding up.
Exactly. I just, these look like fun Provence Market bags to me, you know, something you carry to the market, throw in your car, and you look stylish when you're...
And this one, I like that it almost has a geometric design when you start
does.
looking at the stems.
Exactly. Yep. This would also make a great lining for this bag, or vice versa. Yeah. Now this is an ikat, meaning it's woven, it's not printed. So these colors are throughout. It looks the same on the back and the front, and I just think these are very happy colors and very Sarah Campbell-ish.
Very Sarah Campbell.
Yeah. And this one also looks like Sarah Campbell to me. Just these nice pieces of geometry and beautiful colors. Is this a double gauze too?
It is also a double gauze.
Sure is.
And it's like a paper cut,
Yes.
you know, just a,
Yes.
it looks great with that purple.
I know. Well, I pulled the one on the bottom out because this is like a moleskin. I know you can't tell that on the camera, but this is like a suede,
It's
faux
almost like
suede,
a thinner,
but completely washable. Yes, it could be the bag. I can see this in a village bag. I could also see it for just handles on other bags. Because again, it's washable and has an ultra suede-like feeling. Like Facile used to be the lightweight version of ultra suede.
Okay.
There's 3 weights of ultra suede: Facile and regular and upholstery weight and all that. But this, I'm going to get this out because this has a nice feel and look up close, and it's wide too. Now we've got, if you want a more waterproof bag, you could make a downtown bag like that glazed orange one there in this little purple
Taffeta.
sort of taffeta. What a great color. My kind of purple. My K-State purple. And then I think that denim, you know, I love denim, and particularly these because they have 2 sides to them, so you could play this up. Let's say you made a Provence Market bag and you did the one piece as the opposite color. That would be kind of fun.
Or look at this teal with this orangey color.
Oh yeah.
It's
That
pretty
would be fun.
magnificent.
Yes, it is. And this one is purple with, is that black or
I
navy?
think it looks like it's black.
Yeah, it does look like it's black. So again, a denim, two-sided denim, and another two-sided denim in the blue and the black. All right. Do we have any questions?
Yes, a lot of questions about your cottage shirt. I just
Of course.
love it. So do we have the fabric?
We do not have the fabric. Well, I don't know.
No.
I think we're out of this fabric, yes. This is a silk georgette. We do have other silk georgettes. And this is the cottage shirt with the collar, the double collar from the Zen, from the Now in Zen pattern. And I have on Hudson pants, my standard white Hudson pants. I know it's after Labor Day. Those of you who are my age understand this, but this generation could care less.
You wear what you want.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
I thought of that this morning when I put them on. Normally they would have been gone after Labor Day, but
Did we do a Facebook Live on putting the Zen collar on the cottage
I feel like
shirt?
we did with Kathy Davis.
I think we did.
Yes.
And that was another question, actually, is were there any changes? Like, how do you do that? But it was a Facebook Live.
Well, there's nothing about it that's, the collar is, both the collars are rectangles. So you just measure the circumference of the neck opening and make that rectangle the same length and put it on.
Okay. The ultra suede handles, are they able to hold a lot of weight if you load up your bag?
Absolutely. This, they're very, very stable. It's not stretchy, if that's.
Right there.
Oh, repeat the questions. Yes. Can you use the ultra suede with a lot of weight? And the answer is yes. This is completely stable and doesn't stretch and will hold everything. You're more likely to. It's more likely to come out of the seam than for the ultra suede to break down with weight.
And that's the L square.
This is the L squared.
That was another question. Are all the bags that you've shown on the sale?
Yes. All the bag patterns are on sale. Is that right?
They should be.
Yes.
I'll double check, but
Yeah.
they should all be there.
Right.
And Betsy, can you say what you're wearing again, please?
So it's the Berwick Street tunic, and I removed the front placket and just stitched up the center front, did a simple sleeve, and then bound the neckline with mesh.
Did you lengthen it right off the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the Zen collar. Did you interface it, or is the double collar, or is it just the collar?
I did not interface the collar. You could, if you wanted the inner collar to really stand up, you could, but this is not.
And what fabric is the L squared?
This is a fabric that we used to have that's a vinyl textured upholstery fabric.
No, your fabric's not available. Love that shirt. And you did mention that it's silk, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I have a couple of silk georgette chiffon shirts. You know, we think of this kind of fabric as dressy, but really they're just so comfortable to wear. And I have a trio top, I have this cottage, we've done the panel pants, you know, skirts. Just think of this fabric as, like my friend Ann in California texted or emailed me and said, you know, she was looking forward to wearing her panel pants when she went out. And I think you just wear them.
Wear 'em.
Don't wait until you're going out. I mean, just be comfortable at home.
I put this on this morning, and I haven't had it on for ages. And it's so light
Yeah.
and airy and comfortable.
Don't save your fabrics. And just because it's silk, it's not that precious. It's just silk.
Yeah.
Silk washes beautifully, and the only thing about silks, I did a whole class for Craftsy called Sewing with Silk, and you know, there's some of them are a little bit wiggly, and so you have to have some patience when you sew them, but really, not too bad. I'd rather sew with silk than polyester, and a lot of other things actually.
Yeah.
For the panel pants, the lining, is it cut as full as the pants?
The lining for the panel pants is a totally different pattern. For instance, on the outer pants have 2 vertical seams in the front and 2 horizontal seams in the front, and then a side seam. The lining pattern has 2 darts at the top and 2 darts at the bottom, and that's what, when pulled together, creates the shape. And so to answer your question, yes, it's the same volume, the same shape of lining, it's just a totally different construction. But the pants linings are not like slim and the pants are bigger. They're the same.
Can we put together a custom kit for the panel pants?
Can we put together a custom kit for the panel pants? Absolutely.
A couple people were concerned about the volume in the panel pant.
Well, if you do it in that drapey fabric, it just falls.
Yeah.
And I guess technically it's larger than the Picasso, but I feel like it's
They're very similar.
pretty similar.
Now, you can see the photos of Erin and me in them, and I think they're pretty flattering myself. But you know, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But they're meant to be full. They're meant to be super drapey. They're meant to be oversized. This is not something you want to size down and try to squeeze into. That's not the look. The look is, I'd rather see you wear them way too big than way too small.
And you can offset the fullness with proportional tops.
Exactly.
You know, you're not going to wear a huge long top. You're going to do something shorter, maybe something a little bit slimmer. You had a t-shirt.
I had on a Eureka top, and Erin had on a Maison t-shirt. Now, Erin did wear hers with a longer pearl jacket in the photos. But Erin is taller, has broad shoulders, and can pull off that amount of drape. Not everyone can. So, but I think the standard would be a t-shirt, to put it into a casual mode, a Eureka top, an ET, maybe a Marceau tee for a long sleeve, or an urban tee or something like that. In the old days, in the panel pants, we used to wear them with the origami blouse and the tea garden tee, which came in at the waist. Now, neither of those patterns do we have anymore, although they every once in a while come out of hiding as something that we might consider doing again, but we haven't yet.
What about the no-toe? Because that's
The
a
no-toe
little
would be
bit
perfect.
pegged.
The no-toe would be perfect.
And I could see doing like a more fitted tee and then maybe an open cottage, because you still have the shortness
Exactly.
of the cottage if you wanted to layer.
Exactly.
Not all fabrics shown are on the sale page. Do I need to go to the rest of the site?
All the fabric should be on the sale page.
There should be. If they're not, when we're done, I'll double check it. There is probably a second page to the sale, but
That's
I'll
one of the
look.
things about our website is sometimes there'll be an image on the left-hand side,
Right.
and there's a whole other page. It looks like there's nothing to the right, and yet when you click to the next page, it's full again.
Yeah, but I'll double check.
Yeah.
Now, is the Ultra Suede the upholstery kind or the regular kind?
The Ultra Suede is the upholstery weight. That's why it's so darn expensive. Well, Ultra Suede is expensive anyway, no matter the weight, but the upholstery weight is really expensive.
What fabric is used for the white Hudson pants?
My white Hudson pants are made in the white viscose linen.
I see online you have open hours. Are you still open for walk-in shopping?
We are still open for walk-in shopping from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. We do, if you're coming from out of town, which a lot of people do, you might want to call us first just to make sure we haven't gone to lunch or something like that. but and just to kind of expect you. But even if you don't do that, it's fine. We're here.
Can you show the newspaper bag, the Daily News again?
And then, let's see, can you see the pocket? It's not a good way to show a pocket.
Okay. Back to the Zen shirt. Is there a reason the blouse buttons left to right like a man's shirt?
This is regular, right over left.
Maybe it's the Zen, versus the cottage.
Oh, the Zen goes the other way. I have no idea why we did that.
Just to shake it up.
Yeah.
Issue the name of the bag furthest to the right on the wall. So
This one?
The Village bag.
could the Daily News be reduced in size?
Absolutely. The Daily News could be very small. You know, the bucket bag isn't that the bag of the year? The bucket bag?
Maybe.
Yeah. What do you mean maybe?
I don't know. I was going to say yes and then be wrong. Maybe.
Anyway, yes. Any pattern,
Yeah.
bag or otherwise, can be reduced. And yes, I think this would be nice reduced in size, actually. Yeah, to 75%. That seems to be our number for
It's the go-to.
yours at 75% here, 75% here for you. Yeah.
Is your top lined, Linda?
My top is not lined.
What would you suggest as a lining for the plum taffeta?
Oh, well, this would be kind of fun.
I like that. Or even the green.
Well, yes.
Actually, look at how nice it looks with this orange. It kind of works with purple.
Yeah, it does.
Is the lining pattern for the panel pants included in the new pattern?
The lining pattern for the panel pants is included in the new pattern.
Which is why you should just buy the new
Right, there is there is not a lining pattern in the original panel pants pattern. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make the same pattern twice and put them together. But we did completely redesign the lining pattern for the new pattern.
Yeah, save you some time.
Yeah.
Will the pink check fabric be available? The one you made your Eureka out of that went with the panel pants?
Oh, the answer to that is no. The pink check fabric from the Eureka is not available. We do have that same fabric in blue, I believe. We have a little bit of blue and black left.
Linda, what size panel pants do you wear?
What size panel pants do I wear? I wear small.
Someone would love to see the tea garden tee come back.
Yeah.
Said that, so.
I agree with that. I think that's somewhere on our list. Yeah, that's a great pattern. That was one of our very first. We had 7 patterns back in 1991 when we started the pattern collection, and the tea garden was one of the first. And so I had origami skirt, origami blouse, tea garden tee, haiku 2, San Francisco coat, and I've forgotten. We had 2 more. Oh, the cowl top and 1 more. Forgotten. But the tea garden tee is still a good pattern. It's like a piece of geometry to put together. It's really interesting. Origami, actually.
So you started in 1991? Oh, so it's an anniversary year.
It is. That's right.
Didn't know.
30 years in the pattern business.
30 years.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a thing.
Actually, we did.
Did we?
We did. We had a big sale.
Oh, the sale. That was so long ago. I don't even remember.
I think we did it in like January or February
Yep.
or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, but we can do it again.
That was a long time
You want to do it
ago.
again?
I just meant like get a cake, but we can
Well,
have
okay,
sale
let's
too.
get a cake
Whatever.
and some cupcakes, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, I was just thinking snacks, but we can do a sale.
Would panel pants work in handkerchief linen?
Oh yes, panel pants and handkerchief linen would be fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yes. We have a whole lot of handkerchief linens coming in. They just shipped today. So in a couple of weeks, I'll have to show them. It's it's somewhat for us beginning to be a little not the season to do handkerchief linen pants, but we were just talking about this. We were talking about what our pants, our project for December, So Confident, are pants again. And we were talking about doing them in linen. So
I have linen pants. I wear them all year.
there you go. So we'll show you the handkerchief linens when we get them in.
What changes were made to the panel pants?
Oh, no.
Okay, so what changes were made to the panel pants? We cut off the top 4 inches. We shortened it 1 inch. We repositioned the knee patch. We slimmed the pants down. A completely new lining pattern and completely new instructions. Other than that, it was just really simple.
Just popped it out.
Yeah, just popped it out.
Like we always think we're going.
Yeah.
What is the history of the origami skirt?
Oh, the history of the origami skirt. Oh, interesting. I went to Paris 32 years ago and saw the origami skirt-ish in an Issey-Miyake store in Paris. And came home, and at the time we were working with a woman in San Francisco who was a dressmaker and had a client who owned every Issey-Miyake garment that had ever been produced.
Wow.
And she only sewed Issey-Miyake type garments. In fact, she taught a class for me called Miyake Geometry. And she produced that pattern for us. So that was our very first pattern. I have a soft spot for the origami skirt because that was our very first pattern. But it's that old.
Linda, what size cottage shirt are you wearing?
I wear a small in the cottage shirt.
And then last one I see, which pants pattern for December?
Should I reveal or not?
I think you should keep it a mystery.
All right, it's a mystery.
Okay.
It's only September. We can't tell them
I
yet.
know, we can't do that. Yeah, exactly.
Should we review what's on sale?
Yep. All right, so all the patterns are on sale. Boulder, Provence Market, L Squared, Daily News, Downtown Bag, and Village. Did I get them?
Yep.
All right. All of these fabrics are on sale. We have the Downtown Bags tutorial for $10. It's
Yep.
normally $18 or $19 or whatever.
The book. And the So Easy.
The sewing workshop book and the Sew Easy book are on sale. And then you are pre-ordering Boulder Bag kits, Provence Market kit, or yardage, and we're having to make this decision on the spot here. Are we offering both designs
Yes.
as yardage?
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
All right, why not? And then if you order 2 kits, you
get
get
that.
the free mug.
Yes.
Is that everything?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot to remember.
I know. Okay.
I did have one more question that came in.
Okay.
Would you line the panel pants if you made it out of one of the cottons?
I would not line the panel pants if I made them in cotton. No, we created the lining because we were doing the project in the Georgettes, and so that was because of the sheer aspect of that fabric. But ordinarily, in normal fabric, I wouldn't necessarily think about lining them. But I think it's an interesting study for you to see how a lining pattern can fit the same shape and be totally different in how it's constructed.
You don't see anything else?
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Betsy.
Yes, thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
you coming over today. I love your necklace.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Sparkling.
fantastic. All right, we'll see you next week. I don't know what we're doing yet, but I have an idea. So we'll work on it. So thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.